So practices. So the question of spirituality, the question of practices. The third thing is the question of emphasis. Now, all of the traditions of the church have done all of the things I am going to list. But I think in some ways you can tell sort of the history of consciousness and spirituality by the emphases. If you look at the Orthodox, what do I hear from the Ortho Bros and the new converts to Orthodoxy all the time? It's the liturgy. It's the liturgy. It's the liturgy. Oh, it's the liturgy. That's the thing. Okay. And I talk to the Roman Catholics, and what do I hear from them? It's the Mass. It's the Eucharist. It's the Eucharist. Oh, that's the thing. And then when I go to the Protestants, what do I hear? It's the teaching of the Word. It's the teaching of the Word. It's the teaching of the Word. Oh, okay. And we've sort of run through those emphases sequentially. Now, again, everyone, the Orthodox have teaching. The Orthodox have Eucharist. The Roman Catholics have liturgy. The Roman Catholics have teaching. The Protestants have liturgy. The Protestants have Eucharist, Lord's Supper, communion, fight about the words. They all have them all, but the emphasis has changed. And now, I wonder, all of those have also had fellowship. They've also had community. They've all had koinonia. And I wonder with estuary if we're not sort of moving again into another movement where the emphasis, as I see in estuary, and my question we're starting, might as well start at Little Living Stones. Nobody's going to be hurt. Church is probably almost dead anyway. Might as well run an experiment. And let's have all these people who, I don't believe in that stuff. So why do you come to church on Sunday morning? Well, because we talk. Well, what do you talk about? Well, I'm not sure. We talk about different things, but what runs through all of that talk? Meaning. Why did I weep when I walked into the Sistine Chapel? Why am I so angry with my mother? Why? And we just talk. And I wonder, will this be another thing? So the spiritual question, the question of practice, are we now in another movement of emphasis?
One thing I would like to start with, because it stood out for me, and forgive me if I do it in my own words. When you went through the different Christian churches, the Orthodox, the Catholic, and the Lutheran, and how the focus point of their relationship to the sacred is in the liturgy, is in the Eucharist, and is in the teaching. And basically, the punchline is that maybe something else is waiting along the line. That's my understanding of it. And that kind of really landed with me. And what you do with estuary, obviously, all together, but what's happening all over the place. I mean, I learned John Verweke because of our shared interest in dialogical spaces, what he calls dialogos, what we call emergent interbeing. And there are all kind of places where things like this is happening. And one of the questions that is kind of with me quite a while, what's going on globally that this is the case. You have, and I'm going a little Verwekian here. You go beyond the subject-object relationship in reality. It's not me having a relationship to you. Basically, the whole thing about practices like meditation is when you said basically let your thought goes. let your thought process that relates you with the objectified world go, and whatever that means, just be. And there's something where a particular relationship to reality where we relate very much in an objectified way about everything that comes with modernity is in a crisis or is on the verge of pushing to something different. At least it's happening. But it seems there's something additional happening. And when you brought Harrison, he is one of the representatives of this meditation paradigm, and he kind of makes the point that, I mean, he's really deeply into meditation, but he at the same time is completely into the naturalist objectified relationship to reality, and he tries to bring this two together. What happens with these dialogical spaces and these spaces is, I think, that people also seem to expand this mindfulness revolution to not just sit on their cushion and meditate or do something on their own, but to be in a different way together and find different ways of meaning creation. So that we come together in a dialogical space where meaning is something we share, shared meaning. In your invitation to this conference, you kind of made the point, I don't know exactly how you brought it, that we're all on the path of meaning finding. And you wrote in this short introduction that everyone in the end finds their own meaning. And I agree with that, and I want to expand it a little bit, because it's not just my own meaning. If it's really meaningful to me, it's a shared meaning. It's a meaning that I share with others. Because that's kind of, I think, when we talk about meaning crisis, as John would put it out, one is a sense of meaningless on my own. So that is part where I just feel there's nothing to this. But there's another dimension of this meaning crisis, that we can't agree on a meaning. And that is something that is very core to my heart and to the work that we're doing, both with our emergent interbeing work, our dialogical work, and the magazine and the webcast. The way I pose the question, how can we find meaning in an open society? How can we find shared meaning in an open society? How can we find meaning together in an open society without, and the way I usually phrase it, and my originally Catholic background comes through, without a Pope and 10 Commandments tell us how to find this. So how can we be basically also adults, citizens, who out of their own free relationship to reality are able to together find a meaningfulness relationship to this global world, because otherwise we are in big troubles. So how to do that? And my assumption is that maybe the sacrament for this is meaningful conversations. And insofar I have never thought about it in the way you brought it before, kind of putting the liturgy in the Orthodox Church, putting the Eucharist in the Catholic Church, putting the teaching and the word in the Lutheran and Calvinist Church as a different focus point on the sacred, and the question that maybe there's something else that is needed right now, and that is maybe about in the context of meaningful conversations. But I find it very attractive. I find this very attractive and very dear to my heart, and I find it another sign that something is bubbling in the, if I may use a German English word, Zeitgeist, that is looking for finding to come away to come through. That's how I interpret it.